There's a huge slate. Some in the SEC. Paul Finebaum. I mean, who else were we going to bring in? LSU, Auburn. This has been the game in the past few years where the winner, it sort of determines their season. If Ed Orgeron's squad doesn't win this weekend, why would he still not be on the hot seat? Why would it be any different?
Well, he got a big win over Miami, which may not be as big a win as we thought early on, Nicole. But I think what it will do, it will take away the goodwill that he gained. This is a tricky game for LSU from a historical standpoint. Just go back 2 years ago. Les Miles entered the game after losing at Lambeau Field to Wisconsin. He lost the game on the final play. It looked like LSU had won. They took it off the board because of time. He was fired the next day. And the narrative was that if Orgeron had lost to Miami, this game could be his Waterloo. He'll have that later on if he doesn't win this game, because he still has so many difficult games, a road trip to Florida, Georgia, and of course, Alabama.
We still consider Florida to be...
Good point.
Okay.
After losing to Kentucky, it's hard to take them too seriously.
I mean, okay, so Nick Saban, and they travel, they've got Ole Miss this weekend. And again, the conversation is about the quarterback situation at Alabama, Tua and Jalen. First of all, what do you expect to see in terms of the split?
You'll definitely see Tua play the majority of the early meaningful snaps. This isn't like Dabo Swinney Saturday night where he has a set plan. I thought it was interesting that Jalen Hurts played in the Arkansas State game. What that indicated is that he has apparently decided to at least play the first 4 games, which are the 4 that you have to play. You can't play more than that and be able to redshirt and not lose a year of eligibility. So I guess that's what he's going to do. But on the other side of that, Nicole, had he held out of that game, the big story in college football this week would have been, is Jalen Hurts bigger than the team? So I think his father being a coach, Nick Saban may have advised, may not have, play the game. Let's see what happens after next week when they play Texas A&M. But I still don't think his future at Alabama is long term.
Do you think his future at the quarterback position is long term?
Well, I mean, he's clearly a backup. I mean, Tua is not only the #1 quarterback, but he's a Heisman candidate. He's playing at a level that we have not seen at Alabama in many places for a while. So Jalen Hurts, the 26-2 mark as a starter, that's obsolete now. It doesn't matter. He's no longer the starter, and I don't want to say he no longer matters, because if Tua gets hurt, he would be important. He'd be a great backup. But as far as the starting quarterback at Alabama, those days are over.
Okay, the other big game this weekend, and it's particularly a big game for Ohio State. They have to take on TCU. This is the final game without Urban Meyer. How has Ohio State handled all of this?
Well, I think
the football side.
Yeah, the football side has been great. I mean, on the field, this team is playing very well, and it's worth remembering Urban Meyer is coaching them during the week.
It has been for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, this is the toughest game. TCU is a quality opponent. The game is in Arlington, in TCU's literally backyard. So I think they'll survive this. They should be able to win. What I'm interested in is what happens Sunday when it's back to being the head coach full-time for Urban Meyer. What is he going to say? How is he going to handle the questions? Is he going to try to readdress his 3 apologies? He suddenly becomes the story again, and that's really not good for Ohio State, because when he last disappeared from the public scene, he had egg all over his face.
Is it a bigger deal for him, or is it a bigger deal for the kids? They're kids. Sure. Is it a bigger deal for the kids on that team to have to go through it again?
Well, to the players' credit, they have pushed it away. I've seen this so many times when there's a scandal. Players are there to play football, and they can block it out. I think the pressure is going to be on him, though, because if he is as surly and as arrogant when he meets the media on Monday as he has been in the past, it's going to be a tough look. I mean, you can't wash away what has happened there. He lied, he misled, and then he tried to apologize, and then he issued another statement 3 weeks ago which did not get a lot of attention, where he was starting to parse his words like some Washington lawyer. He has a lot to answer for, and I'm still not convinced that he is there long term. He may have one of the best teams in the country, and winning a championship can make a lot of things go away, but he is not off the radar screen by any means.